Well, I've lived here my whole life, and I was fortunate enough to be one of the founders of the Historical Society when we had our initial meeting on July 26, 1975 at the Rogers Park Library. So only a month, 2 months from now will be our 32nd anniversary. It just so happened that there was this little newspaper. It was called the Rogers Park Paper. It was printed by the Graphic House, Kathy and Dennis Pollock, who are still around after all these years. They're very community-minded. And they had this little paper. It was in little news boxes around the community, and it was at the Rogers Park Library. And it said, anyone interested in starting a historical society, come to the library. So I was one of about 15 or 20 people that went there on July 26, 1975. And that's the day that I met Jeanette Statland, and Lee Schroeder, and Mervyn, who are still members of our Historical Society after 32 years. And we sat around. The person that was most well known that was there was Albert Wymaskirch. And he was from the Wymaskirch funeral family. They had this funeral home on Clark Street that started in 1888. And he brought these fantastic pictures of the late 1890s and the early 1900s of Clark Street and of their funeral home. And it was, I just fell in love with these photos.
For the Historical Society, what is it that's in you that made you want to leap and do it?
I don't know if there was anything special. I mean, I grew up here. I loved Rogers Park my whole life.
You know almost everybody and have talked with almost everybody here.
No. That's not even close to true. There's like 135,000 people.
But you know many of them.
I might know 10 or 15,000. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't know why. I have a really good memory, and I just loved it from the very beginning. And all these people that were at the meeting, they went away, and then they came back in 2 weeks. They brought their photos. They brought other people to the meetings. We started having meetings twice a month on the first and third Saturday of the month.
Yeah.
And one of them would be more or less a business meeting. And then the other one would be visiting and talking and sharing stories. And then we started to have programs. We had this guy from the Sundown Antiques come and bring antiques, and then you could come with one of your antiques and he would identify them. And I'm talking 1978.
Okay.
77 or 78. We did a church walk.
What is like one of your favorite stories? Or a few?
Well, it's kind of interesting that in 1952, the Rogers Park Community Council was organized. And one of their very first objectives was to save our lakefront beaches. We have 13 street-end beaches in Rogers Park.
Yeah.
And we knew that the developers would want to come. And so they passed this ordinance called the Lakefront Protection Ordinance, but not before everyone organized here, and they actually sent sandbags to the late Richard J. Daley, who was the mayor at the time.
Okay.
Convincing him to pass this ordinance.
To protect
our lakefront.
Oh. Some of your dreams or visions for the Historical Society as it moves forward?
There's a firehouse in Rogers Park right now that's been occupied by the Chicago Fire Department since 1915. And they're going to build a new firehouse in Rogers Park. We, the Historical Society, and another community organization called the Rogers Park Community Council are thinking of ways that we can raise some money and put it together with other funds that are available for us and rehab the old firehouse before we move in.
That's sort of a dream come true for you.
Right. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that maybe 2 years from now, we'll be able to move into the firehouse located at 1723 West Greenlee in the heart of Rogers Park.